Yo, what is up? It's Jacob, and today I'm doing an ERANGEL rotation video. So in today's video, I'll just be talking about where people go in ERANGEL matches. And yeah, so to start off, I'll mark all the major comments that people land out. So Severny, George will have a few people. The bulk of people will be at Hospital, Razak, and Pochinki, while there will also be a couple at Primorsk and Military. So the red zone marks where most people will land, while the green zone is where there's barely anyone. So this was recorded during a Riggs custom room, and it's 100 men. So this will be like my Miramar rotation video that I did, though Miramar is a bit different from ERANGEL. In Miramar, the cars don't go up the hills as well, so you can't off-road really. While in ERANGEL, just the cars, the Dacia and the US, just off-road a lot easier, so the rotations are a bit different. So here's our first zone, and yeah, let's get started. So these blue lines mark the main roads that people rotate in. And when they get on these roads, most people will compact in this red area right here. So there'll be a few people in the yellow areas, and of course the safest spot will be on Military Island. Which, of course, with this zone, people will start compacting on the bridge while they try to just see which side of the bridge the zone goes to. So yeah, I've sped this video up quite a bit, so you can see the rotations in a lot easier. So as you can see, most people are on the left side of the map, and really if anyone landed at a car, once you ask Naya, Mansion, Lipovka, Kameshki, just anywhere on the right side of the map, they would have been pretty safe to loot. So yeah, in general, people landed just right off the plane path, just anywhere within landing distance. And you can see that this is just first circle, everyone's still getting loot. And there's actually 2 teams as Darky, which is just really interesting. Just people really want to play passive, but of course, they play passive at the same spot. So here we have our first team going to the right, Team 5, and they're all alone there, but you can see that most teams are just rotating just in. And with ERANGEL, people don't really worry about zone as much, especially in the early zones. So they take their time later on as well, because this is first zone, people are still looting. And yeah, just getting loot for later game. And you can already see that some teams are getting an early hop towards bridge. And this is why just paying attention to the early plane path is just so important. Like for example, when you're in Razak and you want a safe rotate across, then you can see that Team 5 is completely clear. And they're just fine where they are. And the right bridge is completely safe. Everyone is still compacting the left bridge. There's 3 teams you have to rotate through. But the right bridge is just completely clear. Just no one's there, as everyone's still with the plane path. And no one's at farm. And if you want to rotate from Razak to across bridge, then yeah, it will be completely clear. And that will actually become really important this next zone, as the zone actually shifts across the water into military base. So teams just getting into zone here, and here we go. So it's pretty obvious where everyone's gonna go. Everyone's gonna go to the bridges. There'll be some on the shorelines, but really everyone's gonna get stuck on those bridges, and military base is going to end up the safest spot. So now here we can watch the rotates in, and right when everyone sees this zone shift, they want you to get to the bridge first before other teams. And as a result, we just get this giant pile up at the bridge. Right here, there's already 5 people in. Team 25 is gatekeeping across, and still nobody has gone across. Team 24 does the smartest thing with a player in their position, and they get a boat and they start going across immediately. So they're gonna get backside, and they'll be safe for the rest of the zone. So now we have half a dozen teams fighting across the bridge. Nobody can get across, and everyone is still piling up there. Team 24 is the only one backside of military, and nobody has used the right bridge. It's because everyone was compact there, nobody kept track of the drop path, and just nobody used the right bridge. It would have been a simple rotate in, they would have gone backside military and they would have been safe. But instead, now we have tons of teams swinging across. Team 18, instead of getting in their vehicle and going across the bridge, they lose all their cars, and now they're stuck without a car with this next zone. So with the help on the bridge, people will be starting to swim across, and these are the main 3 paths people will be taking in, which will lead to the red spots being the hottest, with some people on the shoreline and some people in the military, the safest spot where Team 24 is, as no one's really there. And as I was mentioning earlier, Team 18 doesn't really have a car, and anyone who takes a boat across won't have a car, so they'll be stuck on foot, which is still important in this zone, as there's still over 10 teams left. So Team 18 gets lucky, they get a car, and as you can see, nobody's moved to backside. People are actually rotating this a little late, and there's still gatekeeps on the bridge. So people are rolling in. Team 18 does a smart thing and rotates backside, as well as Team 25, taking this low hill. And overall, just everyone who rotated early survive it, and Team 17 just gets stuck outside the zone. So at this point, it's really just outweighting all the other teams and letting them kill themselves while securing a center spot in zone, which Team 24 does this, inches in, but then I feel like makes a mistake by taking this compound. They only have one player on their team, it's only Grey Pickle by himself, and he holds this compound, which is a really obvious target, which then Team 18 here actually rotates in and contests it, and really that's just what gets him killed here. They rotate in, they fight him, and he gets killed. And actually, Team 17 found a boat, but of course they can't find their way up. The only way up on these cliff sides is about where Team 16 is, but they don't realize this and actually swim the wrong way. And this is really a thing of whether you take compounds first or later between Team 25 and Team 18. They both have cars, but Team 18 has been engaged with Grey Pickle, and they actually rotate out late. So you see that here, Team 18 at the bottom of the map, they get in the car, but Team 25 has already taken the compound. Do the smart thing, go up top and scout it out, but now they're stranded and they're really getting hit by zone here really hard. So they rotate in, but of course they take too long, take damage, and of course whoever's holding the compound first usually has advantage, so they get taken out here. So really at this point it's a tiny zone and it's a matter of gun skill. Team 17 is still staying alive but stuck in the water, and Team 20 gets taken out by Team 25. So Team 16 gets into zone early, and Team 25, first of all, they made two mistakes. They had two cars, and they took zone damage because they waited too long. So you can see that Team 25 is really clumped. They take the early rotation, take shots, but they're all super close together. And really, I can't show you the video, unfortunately, because it wasn't recorded properly. I wish I could. But Team 25 just stays too clumped, and Team 16 takes them out as a result. And because of that, Team 16 wins the match in a second. So you can see that Team 25 is clumped, while Team 16 gets the flank, and Team 16 wins with 11 kills. I guess if there's one thing to take away from this video, it would be just paying attention to the playing path and how that affects the player density in the circles. Like, so there was at one point 8 teams fighting on the left bridge, and just so many players died there, while not a single team ended up using the right bridge that was completely clear. So yeah, that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and of course, vote.